I want you to go and ask for live, and then come back. She said you had to
We're
go.
live. Why didn't it?
I told you.
Stop, stop, stop. It didn't launch
Commercial.
the commercial. But we're live. I'm Dr. Lisa Santiago McNeill, and
Brian came
he is Brian K. McNeill. We didn't have our prelude today, and I'm definitely excited because today is Wisdom Wednesday, and we have an interesting topic.
Yes, we do. We deal with this every day. All of us do. If you have a cell phone today, or if you have internet access today, you're dealing with it too. And the thing I'm talking about, we're not centered. Come forward, unless you're not. The thing I'm talking about is those phone calls you get. A lot of us have this thing on our phone called scam likelies, and we joke about it. But not only our phone calls, we get these, hey, are you such and such? Or you may have received such as our emails are bombarded by it. And they're getting smarter and smarter. Not just our emails and our phone calls are being scammed and used in scams, but also I'm noticing even in some of the social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, and even LinkedIn, you start to notice these trends, the exact same AI written inbox messages.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, I saw your profile. I was really impressed by your profile. I see this here, this and that. Really? Okay. Do you even know what I do? Okay, because they don't. So, with AI enhancing everything and moving everything faster, and this morning in my mastermind group, it came up, and people were like, had so many different comments about it. So I thought you might want to talk about it too. How do we defend ourselves from this onslaught of scammers? What do we do? What strategies do you have? What do you do when they call you up or if they catch you on the phone? One lady, that's one so far. I never even answer my phone anymore because of this. I don't even answer my phone. Never. Really, because all she gets are these kinds of calls. I talk about how when I take a call, I don't say much at all. I might just breathe into the phone until they identify themselves. Hello, Brian, this is such and such. Until I know who it is, I don't say anything until they hang up. They hang up at 10, 12 seconds. Okay. Because I don't feed into it at all. Um, and all of these different links that people send to you, even people that are well intentioned. Friends of mine, my Facebook page has been hacked and taken away from me on three separate occasions. Um, and I believe they all happened when I inadvertently or on purpose even opened somebody's link. Somebody sent me a link to something, and then they stole my stuff.
Hmm.
Phishing is one of the terms, or they just took my account because I opened a link. One time they took us, it was so painful. They took our group that we had worked so hard to develop. Some company in Asia, some scammers in Asia. They took all our stuff, and it probably happened because we clicked on some link at some point where they had got access to it.
I don't know why any of the things that happen because it's often a result, like you said, of some arbitrary action. But what is the end game? Like, what is their benefit to that?
Yeah, I don't know, but I think they want um, because they're so good. The algorithms are so good at finding out what we will watch, for example. So they want access to everybody that we're connected with. I guess I don't know, so they can market to not only me but everyone in my circle. I don't
I
know.
don't know. I don't know. It
Mm.
doesn't make much sense. I don't actually give it much energy personally. I don't mind the scam likely calls. I know how to ignore a phone call, and I I have been impacted by some of the pain of having a page taken down or a Facebook taken down. Excuse me, not taken down, but
Group.
taken away from me or whatever. But ultimately, I don't see the benefit, and I don't see why they want to continue doing something like that. But they have.
And to me, even the phone calls, I just think, but maybe because I'm a sales coach.
Good morning, Susan.
What a horrible use of time. That's not going to work. Somebody just randomly cold call people.
But they're not doing it themselves anymore. They're
Right.
using automation.
Okay. That's not going to work. Okay. Who even answers those calls? I wonder who answers those calls. Good morning, Susan Candy. How you doing? But I think it's so prevalent. I'm wondering how you handle it. How do you handle it? That's what I'm wondering today.
I think I just ignore it. I think it bothers you
You think it bothers me?
much more than it bothers me.
Well, you're right because I hear you sometimes entertaining them, the scammer. They call up and they give you some bull crap, and if you happen to have it on speaker or something, I hear that. I'm like, oh, just hang up. What are you doing? Just hang up. Why are you dealing with them? But you're still on the phone with them.
Well, that's because sometimes important phone calls are trapped and entangled in some of that. I have doctor's offices that are calling me. I have offices appointments that are calling for your mother. I can't just arbitrarily hang up on a phone if it did on a number. If it didn't come through as scam likely, if it actually came through as a number, but simply not one that I have saved, I still have the responsibility to answer it.
Yeah, and maybe I might have messed up one or two or three
Right.
because I am quick to, if they give me something, I will hang up and block immediately. I
Yeah.
hang up and block right away.
I can't do that because so much of the offices actually have number disclosure undisclosures, like the doctor's office, like the senior center. Actually, I got a phone call yesterday from, or the day before yesterday, from one of the representatives, and I said the number that I have on my phone is that number that I can text you back on. And she says, "What's the number?" Because she was obviously talking into a cell phone. So I gave her the number, and she said, "I don't have no idea how you got that number or what that number is, but here's my number." Blah blah blah. Because of work, they're on a some sort of a number blocker, I guess. Susan said, "Brian, I'd like you to check out the HTTPS postjammer.com. It formats your posts for Facebook and
What
such."
does that mean? Formats my post for Facebook. Good morning, Dr. Deborah Dunson. How you doing, my sister? What does that mean, Sister Susan? It formats your post. Postjammer.com seems intriguing, but I'm guessing. What does that mean? Okay, but I'd like to know. I'm scared to go on the link, and I don't because I'm so afraid of these kinds of things. I don't click on anybody's link, even if it's from friends. I'm not going to click on their link unless they describe what's in it or tell me about it. I have a friend that I like a whole lot, but he sends me a lot of just links, and part of the reason why I won't open any of them is because it's his propaganda. See, I'm sorry, sister, and I like Susan. I like you very much, but that won't do it for me. Just trust me; you will absolutely love it. No way. Just drink this, dude. Don't worry about what's in the drink. Just drink it. Oh, he's partying. He's my friend, but he wants me to just drink something that I don't even know what's in the drink. I'm afraid to do that. Trust me, you'll love this drink. I can't.
I have an associate, and I told you about it the other day. They gave me a half a pill and said, "Just take half."
They have a what?
That's what I put it in my hand and then I threw it away.
No way. I can't do it. Just trust me. Take it. I can't do it. Okay, I love you very much, but I can't do that. No. Um, Dr. Deborah, I was wondering what that means too. Okay. You can write a Facebook post and then it will add bold headings, etc., that are usually hard to create in Facebook. I don't know. I don't know. So what if it adds bold headings? Okay. How does that help me? I'm curious. Okay. It adds, oh, my Facebook post, it'll add a heading to my Facebook post so that what? So that other people read it more often. I don't know what that means. Anyway, I'm guessing. So we could talk about it at some point too. But I do think we have to defend ourselves. Good morning, Uzama Ra. How you doing? Man, I love to hear your thoughts on this topic. What do you do with all these phone calls and all these emails that are just trying to get at you? It's also Wisdom Wednesdays now 9:07 Eastern, 9:08 Eastern Standard Time. So in 7 minutes from now, we're going to have our submission from Mr. Mark Greer, our inspirational speaker, and we'll see what he has to say at 9:15 this morning. Also around 9:32, 9:33, we're going to have Today in African American History. We'll do that. Okay, thank you, Susan. She says, I'll put in an article in a little while after using PostJammer. I find it fun. Thank you very much, Susan. That will be helpful to me. So I'll read your article. Okay. Dude, just take this pill. What is it? Trust me. Would you? No way, dude. Just drink this. Don't even think about it. Just drink it. Don't even think about it. Just drink it. No, man. Not gonna do that.
No, thank
Whew.
you.
Yeah. And why do we feel that way? Not that we don't like them, but we've learned life has taught us some lessons. I've got my butt kicked a lot of times. This morning in my mastermind group on Wednesdays, we were talking about imposter syndrome and the different degrees of imposter syndrome. What if they find that I'm just me? What if they find that I'm not really that great or that high and mighty, that I really do put my pants on one leg at a time and all that kind of stuff? And it was interesting this morning because we came around to the benefits of imposter syndrome, the benefits of it, because there are some.
Susan said before, I want to read. Susan said, if you told me to check something out, I would do it immediately.
LOL. Okay,
Absolutely.
that's nice. Thank you.
Dr. Deborah said, that's why I now use my phone number as a text number in my marketing. I get too many calls from unknown numbers back to back. I don't know what that means.
So she only uses her phone for texting as a text number in my marketing. Text your information to this number here. Text to this number. She's not saying call it. She says she's using it as a text number in her marketing. If this interests you, if you want more information, text your information to this number here because of the phone calls.
So don't even call me.
No, my son, my oldest son, actually, he stopped many years ago with that stuff on his phone. Okay, if he doesn't have you saved, he has a message that plays. Like if you stick around long enough for the message says something like, "Thank you very much, but don't leave a message. I'm not going to even check. So just don't leave one. I'm not going to check any of these messages." Okay. He goes, "Yeah, just don't do it. I'm not going to check." That's my boy. And eventually we're going to all get there. How often do you check your voicemail messages on your phone? But at one time, that was the move. Leave me a voicemail.
Susan Kennedy said, Dr. W, you need an AI phone number to handle incoming business calls. I have my AI phone number and I actually don't use it very much.
So it's not a real phone. It's just an AI number that you have.
It goes to my AI receptionist.
Okay.
But
Oh, I have that phone number too. I just don't like that service anymore. Mhm.
Dr. Deborah, good morning, my dear. We've missed you.
Good morning, she goes.
Grand rising to my favorite, awesome, beautiful family. Y'all done messed around
They done messed around.
and got me a TV in this place. Guess where
What?
y'all are live and in living color? Well,
They done
okay.
messed around, put a TV in her workplace, and now they can see us too. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. Thank you very much for showing. See, if I'd have known that, I would have dressed nicer today.
Susan said, no, it's a real phone, but it's virtual.
Well, we do have a virtual phone number too because of AI that I never used. Okay.
Dr. Deborah says, I had that service using and I didn't use it much.
Yeah, and some of it is, we don't know how to use it well, or we have to get used to it and all of that. We'll see. But anyway, for those of you folks who are watching us now, and maybe you're new to what we do, this podcast here is called Let's Talk About It. And we meet live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But we've been doing this here the way we do it here since October of 2016. What we talk about are personal conversations
Business information
and spiritual inspiration.
with a little bit of shame.
This lovely lady here is DrLisa Santiago McNeill.
And he is Brian K with you.
And together make up what's called the Empowerment Duo. We have some amazing people like Dr. Beverly that regularly show up to share their wisdom. This show is driven by the comment section. The comment section, what you choose to put in that we can read. Brother Uzama Ross says,
I still have a landline, and I give that number to most people. If they leave a message, If they leave a message, eventually check them. I also keep all of my ringers turned off at all times.
Interesting. He keeps all of his ringers turned off at all times. That's one of my favorite features is DND, do not disturb. Okay, and I put it on from different times throughout the day. When I just don't feel like getting a call or if I'm booked. Okay.
Come on,
Katura Greer, how you doing, my sister? Today's talk, we were talking about how you defend yourself from these scammers, but I did notice a really, really cool caricature that Katura did that listed her services, the dance instruction, all these different kinds of things. And I thought it was a really, really good job, Katura. It's now 9:14. In just a minute, we're going to be hearing from our guy, Brother Mark Greer. What?
It's already queued up.
Huh?
Brother Mark Greer is already queued up.
Yes. Because at 9:15 on Wednesdays, we share what Mark Greer submits.
Yes.
Okay. And thank you. Welcome, Katura. You are very welcome. Wisdom Wednesday. Now, we don't always talk about stuff like scams. We talk about whatever wisdom. But I was curious as to how you guys do it too. And thank you for you guys.
How you guys handle it.
How you guys handle it.
How you guys do it too is a really open question.
How you do it too? Are you making a dirty joke?
No, like what is
Did y'all hear her try to make a dirty joke? Did y'all hear us try to slip one in? Did Dr. Lisa make a dirty joke?
Can you give me water, please? So for me, I don't think scammers like scam likelies or any of it bothers me very much. I know how to hang up the phone. I also know how to use do not disturb. And I also know how to do that. And this might be strange. I also know how to say not interested. Like I don't have to get mad. I don't have to get angry. They didn't disturb my life. Just no, thank you, and hang up the phone. That's it.
All right. So coming to the stage, let's hear Brother Mark Greer.
No opinion.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. No, not really.
Welcome to another edition of Wisdom Wednesday. I want to share this moment with you. I was traveling to my hometown to see my family, and I stopped to get some gas. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw a gentleman carrying a backpack. And as our eyes met, he nodded, and I nodded in return, and walked inside the store to get something to drink. And as I came out, this gentleman had sat down by the door and watched people as they walked in and out. And as I was coming out, I asked him a simple question. I said, "Do you want something to drink?" And he looked at me. He said, "Yes." So I walked back in. I got him a bottle of water and a Coke. And as I handed it to him, I said, "Where are you headed?" He said, "I have nowhere to go." And he pointed to the woods. He said, "The woods are my home." And I asked him, "Do you have anyone that you can call?" And he looked at me. He said, "I have no one that I would call friend." And as we talked for another 10 minutes, this is not a story of sadness. He seemed to be content with how his current situation was at that time. And he got up, he thanked me for the drinks, and he began to walk away. And as I watched him walk, I began to think, what has transpired in someone's life that was so detrimental, that was so impactful, that they readily check out from the world and they chose to live in a certain way? He didn't seem overly hungry. But the one thing I do remember about him was that he seemed at peace, which led me to this thought this morning, Empowerment Duo family. Despite of everything that you have gone through in your life, all the ups and downs, all the hell that you have gone through, to get to this point in your life this morning, in your life this morning, do you have peace? Because as I watched this gentleman walk away, that is the thought that was predominant in my mind. He seemed to be so peaceful. And I thought, in some semblance, if we all could experience the peace that he had. And here's the beautiful thing about it: the peace that he had was not caught up in all the material things that he owned, because at that moment, what I saw, he did not have a lot. Which brought me to another question. Do you fret about the things you don't have, or do you truly appreciate those things that you do? And at the top of that list is peace. Because Empowerment Duo family, I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt, if you do not have peace, you won't have anything in life. There is a peace that is spoken about in scripture that says a peace that surpasses all understanding. Do you have that peace where you just know, I may not have everything that I want, but I've got peace. There is contentment in my spirit. There is tranquility in my soul. There is a resting place called my mind that says, I'm okay. Empowerment Duo family, the words of encouragement I have for you this morning, the words of wisdom, if you will. Whatever you need to do to find that place, to harness that peace, to enjoy that tranquility, put it at the top of your list, because a peaceful mind is a productive mind. A peaceful spirit is a restful spirit. A peaceful soul is something so deep, so magnificent that many people would not be able to understand it, but everyone will want it. At some point, Empowerment Duo family, if I were to ask you the same question that I asked that gentleman, where are you going? If you have peace, you can simply say, I don't have anywhere in particular that I have to be, because where I am going to be is everywhere. If you think about that a little deeper, there's a bigger meaning in that statement. Empowerment Duo family, I wish all of you this day a tremendous amount of peace. And hopefully you understand that peace. That's all I have for this morning, everybody. As always, you are anointed, appointed, and destined for greatness. And somewhere along the journey to achieve your greatness, I hope you experience the greatest of peace. We'll talk to you again soon. Peace.
That was amazing. What an amazing message. Good morning, Mr. J. Mattier. Thank you for coming in the room. Susan Kennedy says, Mark, this is just what I needed to hear this morning. And I believe you, Sister Susan, as well. The story he told about that person that appeared homeless, that sat down, that he got him something to drink. He asked him, where is he going? And the guy didn't appear to be overly hungry. And he didn't have anybody place I have to particularly be. But the guy seemed to have something else. He seemed to have some peace. And I want to tell you, I think that was a particularly poignant message from Brother Mark Greer today. For 3 years of my life, my adult life, I lived in Greensboro, North Carolina, before I moved to Charlotte from 2012 2015. And I was a part of a wonderful church called Love Fellowship Believers. And we had a very, very active homeless ministry. Every week we was doing something for them, for the homeless, praying with them, feeding them something. We had a very active homeless ministry. And I was there for 3 years, and I noticed there was some people that was out there homeless for years, more than 1 year, or for a long time they were homeless. And I was like, I asked my buddy, he says, well, how can they be homeless so long? It could happen to anybody. Why are they still homeless? And he explained to me that people that are homeless for a long time, they have systems that they use. They know where they can go to get a meal, a free meal, then for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They know where they can go to get a shower. They know where they can go to get out of the elements of the weather. They have systems that they've developed that keeps them okay without having a home of their own, but they can make it through. They have systems. They have cell phones. They have a network, a referral network. They talk to each other. They had systems, so I learned some stuff. And I even got to the place where, because I wasn't doing well financially either at the time, I was wondering, could I live like that if I had to? I had to live like that, could I? And I couldn't make peace with myself. Brother Mark Greer message wasn't about that to me. His message today was about the pursuit of your peace, finding your peace, the value of your peace, the importance of your peace, doing what you got to do to get your peace, because that's the greatest thing that you can do for yourself. Find your peace. Good morning, Miss Carmelo Baker. I hope you found some value in that message as well. Today's topic was scammers. How do we deal with them? What's your strategy on how to deal with them as part of Wisdom Wednesday? But every Wednesday, Mark Greer does do a 5-minute submission to us. And today, I thought it was particularly poignant. DrLisa is here. She had to go downstairs to receive people that were coming into our home just now, so they can do some work here too. So she had to go and help them too. That's a part of our piece as well. You know, when I first met my wife, when I first moved into her home, I left my home, moved into her home, and front yard, backyard. I hired someone to do the grass like right away. So I never cut the grass. I always hired someone to do it. And she said to me, well, Brian, early in our relationship, she's like, Brian, I need someone in the house. I need a house cleaner. I need someone. And I'm like, for what? I was thinking it was just us two in the house, and her son was with us at the time. So I was like, why do you need a? And she was saying that she need one, and it didn't. For some reason, it didn't stick right away, Couture. And then she finally was able to say something. Well, Brian, how many times have you cut the grass since you've been here? Never. I always hire somebody. That's why I need a house. Oh, that made sense now. It made more sense. So we hire house cleaners, and every other Wednesday we get some professionals to come in to do it, which contributes to our piece. Because we're not professional at that. We don't want to do that. We'd rather pay someone to do that. Instead of us do that to keep the house right. We'd rather pay some professionals to do it. That's a part of something that we do to maintain our sanity and our peace. Hiring stuff to do stuff that you don't get paid to do. Cut your grass. We'd rather hire someone to do that. Not only that, because it frees up my time and I don't have to worry about that. I'd rather pay for that. Hiring the house cleaners, contributes to that. Hiring people to do some stuff that you're not particularly skilled at. I had a guy tell me, I was lamenting. I was in some networking meeting, a mastermind meeting with some really, really smart people. And I was telling them how I have so much frustration when people send me, I record our sessions, but I have frustrations about how do I get the recording and then email the recordings? How do I save the recordings and email the recordings to them? And I couldn't figure out how to do it well myself. My wife would always have to do it. And then I had my wife, she had this great idea. She wrote down step by step what I must do to get my recordings and to send my recordings in the way I want to do it. And I tried to follow it step by step, and I still was failing at it. And then one gentleman made me have peace with it. He goes, Brian, you're not going to figure that out because that's not for you to do. You're not going to be able to do that. You're not supposed to be the one to do that. There's no way you're going to ever master that particular task because it's not for you. And just that thought freed me up. I don't have to master every little thing. I don't have to do all those kinds of things. Focus on the things that work for me, which gives me peace. I love it. Joel Osteen tells the story about when his father passed and he was taken over. He was younger still. He was one that couldn't even do the job that his father did running that major church. And before his father passed, Joel was in charge of the lighting and the sound for the church. Um, so When his father passed, Joel was trying to still take care of the lighting and the sound and still prepare a sermon. And he was driving himself nuts. He was having no peace. He was stressed all the time until someone senior to him in the church said, look, you can't do any of this other stuff. Nothing. Not the lighting, not the sound, not the scheduling, none of it. You focus on the 22 minutes that you have to be speaking in front of a camera on Sundays. That's it. Just focus on delivering your 22 minutes. Everything else let somebody else do, which freed him up to do better sermons and to have more peace in his days. Let it all go. He just let it go, which gave him peace to do those kinds of things. And that story always resonates with me. Just focus on your 22 minutes. Don't focus on every single thing else. Amen. So back to the lecture at hand. We can talk about anything you want, but back to the lecture at hand is how you handle these phone calls, these emails. That's what I originally wanted to talk about, but we don't have to stay on that topic. What say you? Did you get some value out of Brother Mark Greer's talk? I want to say something else that gave me a smile this morning. Made my spirit sing this morning. Our friend, um, uh, Vicki Lynette Evans, she comes on here too. She's playwright and she has a thing called the Playwrights Group. And she made a post yesterday about, oh, do I have anybody that really cares? And do people care about this and that kind of thing? And she was talking about her playwrights. And I commented that I care because she's my sister. But also said, do you think it would be beneficial? This is last night. I posted, I said, do you think it would be beneficial for your playwrights to learn something about how to sell themselves and their works? And this morning when I woke up, that's what I added to the post. Do you believe it would be beneficial? Because I'm a sales coach and a sales trainer and a sales speaker. So I said, do you think it would be beneficial? So this morning I was really, really pleasantly um, surprised to read when I opened up my Facebook this morning. Our friend Stephanie Morris, who comes on here, she goes, kudos to you, Brian. A great job, Brian, recognizing a need. I saw that they have a need. But Vicki Lynette Evans' comment was, this is the God's honest truth, Brian. I was just talking about you yesterday to one of her other leaders in the organization. And she goes, and the other lady asked her yesterday, maybe he could come and be our speaker. This is a day before I saw the post and made a comment to the post. They were thinking about me as being a speaker for one of their events. I'm teaching them how to do some stuff. And I thought, it made me chuckle because that's how the God I serve works, man. That's how God works. I saw the need, I raised my hand to be helpful, and they were already considering me anyway. I thought that was beautiful. Yep. So it made me smile. And it's nice to have those kind of moments in life where you just catch yourself and a smile. I'm looking out my window here because the van is coming to pick up my mother, and I don't like what they're doing. They're trying to pick her up and put her in the side of the van instead of using the lift at the back. Oh my gosh, this is nuts. I think I need to address this. I don't like it. Oh God, Lee. Mm-mm-mm. They're making her climb upstairs instead of using the lift because they're being lazy. I'm going to address that today too. Okay, because they're being lazy. Because they have a lift on the van that comes around and they could just roll her up on it and she just ride up on the lift. But this driver here he didn't use the lift. He just picked her up and put her in the van and helped her climb into there. I'm going to address that today. Excuse me for the diversion there for my topic. My wife will be back up here shortly in just a minute. Okay, it's now 9:32. 9:32 is the time that we have set aside to recognize um, the day in African American history. 366 days of historical events and accomplishments by Mr. Michael A. Carson. We've been doing this book here for a couple of years now, but every single day has some stuff in it. Today is March the 18th. Yesterday was my youngest son's 23rd birthday. How many of you guys remember what you were doing when you were 23? What were you doing on your 23rd birthday? Oh my goodness. So today is March the 18th. Okay, so where are we at? March 14th, 15th, 16th. Okay, March the 18th. Let's see. Ooh, 1983. Dorothy Dandridge was inducted into the Hollywood Walk of Fame and awarded a star on Hollywood Boulevard. Dandridge was also the first African American woman to be nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress. The story of Dorothy Dandridge is much more than this here. Man, we should talk about that at some point. 1992, Donna Summer was inducted to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Um, Throughout her career, Summer sold over 140 million records worldwide, making her one of the world's all-time best-selling artists. Donna Summer. How many of you guys are old enough to remember Donna Summer, the queen of the 70s? Soul music, Love to Love You, Baby. All these songs that Donna Summer. Um, how many men in here had a crush on Donna Summer like I did? Donna Summer was going to be my girlfriend when I was a teenager, like early teens, because or maybe even before teens, because 79 I was 13, 79 80 I was 13, and Donna Summer was like for the whole 70s. She was like the glamour girl, Donna Summer, man. Woo woo. What are they doing here with my mother? Oh my gosh. Now they, I don't like any of this stuff that I'm watching. Okay, so I'm definitely going to be making some calls today. You know, so much time stuff happens when you are willing to speak up. Yesterday, I had to go to Greens on Winston-Salem, North Carolina, so my mother could do some banking, you know. And we show up at the bank to get some stuff changed on her account. And when we get to the bank, um, it was like around 11:30 or so in the morning. And the tellers, I mean, there's no one standing in customer service. You know, this is a major bank. No one's at customer service, and the teller's like, "Can I help you?" I was like, "Well, yeah, we need some stuff done." She goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, but I don't have a banker in here right now." What do you mean you don't have a banker here? The banker's out for lunch or something. They'll be back around. And plus, you need to set an appointment to do what you're wanting to do. And she says, if you come back around 2 p.m., we'll be able to help you. I'm not coming back at no 2 p.m. No, I drove to the bank now. I want you to service now. Okay, what do you mean there's no other banker for this? Okay, no, I'm not going to do that. They try to yo-yo you around or say maybe another local branch will have another banker available to you now. You're kidding me. I drove to you and you want me to go to a different bank in your city to handle the same thing because you don't have a person available to do it right here now. This is nuts. I already drove to a bank. I want such service while I'm here. And amazingly, just by me speaking up like that, amazingly, somebody in the back shows up who was there the whole time and was able to serve us. But what if I didn't beef? What if I didn't say, because they would have sent me away. They would have sent her away. If she's by herself, they would have sent her away and told her to come back in a couple of hours when it was convenient for them. No, that's not how the game is played. We're banking with you. We're doing business with you. We want you to serve us. We want you to serve us well. That's nuts. So sometimes being a little bit boisterous is helpful to you. Maybe some of you guys have experienced that too, where you had some. I remember one time we was looking to rent somewhere. Lisa and I, and we did move into that place. We was there for a while, but on the day of it, I mean, they had already played games with the application where you need to do this or that, and I want to make sure this, they want some more. And finally, I was like, that's enough. You done already had us do extra stuff here, and we've done all that stuff. We're gonna rent this place here or not, because I'm not doing another single thing. We're not lifting our hands for another single thing. Okay. And amazingly, just by using that kind of a voice, they say, no problem. Here's the keys essentially. Okay, because I was willing to fight, I guess a little bit. Life has taught me sometimes that not willing to just capitulate to whatever comes forward um, is beneficial to you. Finding your peace, like in Mark Greer's story, is beneficial to you. Fighting for your time was beneficial to us. We started today talking about the scammers, and I'm waiting for my wife to come on back up. She was supposed to be gone for like 10 or 15 minutes, but she didn't. She'll come back up when she can. But what say you, man? I need to hear from you. Are we frozen in the comment section? Because this podcast is driven by the comment section that we read off. This would be boring if it's just a monologue of me talking. It's 9:38, and then 9:42 is what we do is we simply say thank you to our consistent contributors at the 9:42 marker. And the way we do that is with greeting songs and with greeting logos. This is also Wisdom Wednesday. We have set aside Wednesdays as evaluation days. Wednesdays are the days that we encourage you to evaluate your week because it's right in the middle of the week. So you evaluate how the week is going, putting us more goal oriented. And we encourage you to ask yourself 2 questions on Wednesdays. Question number 1 that you should ask yourself on a Wednesday at some point during the day: what am I doing correctly? That's based upon this week's work. When you consider Monday, Tuesday, and whatever time of day on Wednesday you decide to ask yourself, what am I doing correctly with my business? What am I doing correctly with my life? Or even kind of correctly. You don't even have to be doing it 100% right. What am I kind of doing? I'm investing time here or there. I'm exercising. I'm doing something like this. What am I doing correctly? This question about what am I doing correctly reinforces your good works and help you to have more of those things. And then question 2. Well, number 1 is what am I doing correctly, even kind of correctly? Question number 2 is if I had this time to do over again, what would I have done differently? That's question 2. Ask yourself, note, I'm not asking you to ask yourself, what are you doing wrong? I'm asking you to ask yourself that if you had this time, this Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this calendar week to do over again, what would you have done differently? And I want you to find an answer. Don't ever fool yourself thinking I did everything correctly. There's nothing I would have done differently. Everything was great. Well, find something. I would have spent more time with this or that. I would have less time with that or this. I would have made that call or not made that call. Find something that you would have done differently. Shouts out to Vicky Linnell Evans and Stephanie Morris, because I was hoping that they pop into the room. Again, thank you, Brother Mark Greer, for your submission today. Thank you, Miss Susan Kennedy, for your suggestions today. Jay Mattier and Zamara, thank you very much. But we're about to do our greeting songs and our greeting logos. I was hoping DrLisa would be back in the room by now, so I don't have to do it by myself. But if she's not, our show must go on. There we go. Let me take a sip of water before I do this. I'm looking forward to my day. I'm getting some training today at 10:30 from Mr. Eric Heilig. He popped it on here the other day, and I scheduled some time with him on his calendar. But he has a TV show called Becoming a Millionaire Couple. So I'm looking forward to talking with him today at 10:30. And I do have a full stay on my schedule. Praise God for having a full calendar of events. And they're spaced out with enough time so I'm not boom, 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 boom. So I'm excited about that today. So I'm going to have a good day at work. I hope you have a good day at work as well. So here we're going to start off. Now, first up today in our room was Susan Kennedy. Susan Kennedy is a consistent contributor to this podcast. And we thank consistent contributors. What's a contributor? Someone who puts stuff in the comment section that we can read. And we thank consistent contributors with greeting songs and with greeting logos. Susan Kennedy has one too, and it goes, Susan Kennedy, you're everything I've hoped for. You're everything I need. You are so beautiful to me. Now that song was designed to be a duet, okay, but I did it as a soloist this morning because my wife is still downstairs. Susan Kennedy, Dr. Deborah Dunn is in the room too. She's got a song as well. And it goes, Dr. Deborah, strategist and funding coach. Mm-hmm. Now, I always feel like I'm leaving out something in her song, but that's the one I remember. But I do want to acknowledge Dr. Deborah Dunstan. Thank you very much. Let's see who's next here that showed up. What is he doing? He's singing songs with people's names? Yes. Uzama Rod's got one too. And it goes, Bitcoin King, he's the Bitcoin King. Uzama, Bitcoin King, he's the Bitcoin King. Uzama. That's his greeting logo. He's a consistent contributor to this podcast. Amen. Thank you very much. Dr. Beverly is in the room too. She's got a logo and she's also got a screen where she is at work. We're going to do it for her work. And it goes, Dr. Beverly, get your crew ready. And it goes, Dr. Beverly is on the show. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. And good morning to you and the rest of your crew. Good morning to you and the rest of your crew, Dr. Beverly. I hope you all enjoyed that. Katura Green also has a greeting song too. Her song goes like this. Back to life, back to Katura Green. However do you want it? However do you need it? That's Katura Green's jam. That looks like fun. I want a song too. You can get one. Here's how you get a song where we sing your name in the jam. Be a consistent contributor. Put stuff in the comment section regularly and help us find a jam with your name in it. Like Jay Mattier is a consistent contributor as well. He's got a jam too. His jam goes like this. Get ready, get ready. Oh, get ready, because here Jay comes. Get ready, because here Jay comes. Get ready, because here Jay comes. That's Jay Mattier's jam. It's inspired by the Four Tops, in my opinion. That's what I think about. Carmelo Baker's got a jam too. They call her Carmelo because she's nice and sweet. See, Carmelo for your books and treats. Shouts out to Carmelo Baker, the baker of the apple butlets and the apple loaf. We love all of those things from Carmelo. Thank you very much. Shirley DeJarnette, good morning. She's got a jam too. Shirley DeJarnette, Wyatt will rock you, rock you. Shirley DeJarnette, Wyatt will rock you, rock you. Thank you for coming on and back in the room, baby. Craig Sabb is in the room. He says,
good morning, everyone. Have a great, blessed day on purpose and enjoy it to the fullest.
He also has a greeting jam that goes, Craig Sabb.
1,000 degrees.
You'll be on your knees and you'll be burning, begging, please. Brother Freeze, Craig. Let me borrow your VCR so I can dub a tape. That's Craig Sabb's greeting jam. We made it through all the songs. It's 9:46. Mark Greer's word was about peace.
Peace.
Finding your peace.
Is all understanding.
It was amazing. I'm not doing it justice by even telling you what the topic was.
Well, I will go listen to it on my own. I'm excited.
Everything good?
Yeah, everything is good.
All right. Do you have any more thoughts either on peace or anything like that?
I really do not. I don't think scammers trouble me, and I don't know where you guys ended up. I don't think they bother me as much as they bother you, but I think a lot of things don't bother me as much as it bothers you. And it's just a matter of hang up or don't answer.
You know, I did tell the story while you were away downstairs handling that business about yesterday's banking. About how when we got there, there was no one at customer service, and they hit us with the, well, we don't have a banker present.
It's lunchtime.
It's lunchtime. How you gonna do that? Have a
Is that a new thing where you're closed on actually your peak hours?
Because you don't have no help there.
So it was years ago, right? It was years ago. I used to work in the bank. And the one thing was that our lunch block, because it was staggered, but it was still staggered outside of the world's lunch period.
Because when they're at work, lunch, they might want to run to the bank to handle something.
I mean, sometimes we had lunch. Our lunch break was as early as 10 o'clock or as late as 2 o'clock. So you had to be mindful if you are hypoglycemic or whatever, that you bring a snack or you eat a snack before you get to work so that you can make it through the day. You didn't tell the customers, oh no, we're having lunch. If you couldn't eat in the front, you couldn't look up. That was another thing I think I told you. You couldn't come to the front of the bank and look towards the people. You were not. That was like unauthorized.
Right, unless you were ready.
To open your window.
But my point was, they tried to ask us to come. Okay.
No.
Okay, or go to another branch within the city.
Or make an appointment to go to another branch. Don't just go.
So my point was, they hit us with that, but we weren't willing to tolerate that. No, we already drove into the bank. Okay, I didn't raise my voice, I don't think, but I was pretty firm. No, we're here. Somebody serve us. What's that look about?
You raised your voice. You didn't yell, but you raised your voice.
Say?
You just said a whole lot of no, that's not going to work. Shirley said,
wait, before you get to Shirley.
Good morning, Vicky.
Okay, so
Shirley said, I'll go back and go ahead.
I want to read Shirley, but I want to make the point too, because the point I was making earlier was sometimes not tolerating that is to your benefit. Okay, they would have yo-yoed my mother by herself. I was so upset watching them put mom in the van today. Did you see it?
No.
Okay, I was thrown off. Good morning, Vicky Liddell Evans. Is because the guy was too lazy to lower the thing so she can be lifted up. He kind of like helped her to climb up those 2 stairs to get into the van on the side, and it really upset me. Shirley Jeanette Wise says, I will go back and listen to Mark Greer.
I know it was amazing, and what I needed to hear.
Susan Kenny says it wasn't needed to hear. Vicky Liddell Evans, before you came in, I talked about how that exchange really made me smile this morning. Vicky Liddell Evans, she made a post yesterday, and I commented on her post. She's a playwright. She's the founder of the African Americans Playwrights Group. I've commented that, would it be beneficial for your playwrights to learn something about how to sell themselves and their services? And our friend Stephanie Morris commented on it, and she said, good job, Brian, recognizing a need. But the thing that really made me smile this morning was Vicky Liddell Evans says, to God's honest truth, yes, yesterday we was talking about you, Brian, and we was considering if you'd be a speaker or something because the playwrights don't sell themselves well. In my adult life, I have spoken at the Starving Artists Festival in Raleigh, North Carolina, teaching artists how to sell art. Playwrights, you're artists too. Actors and actresses, you're artists too. You have to learn how to sell yourself and your services. So I do have a word for them, Vicky Liddell Evans. And I really, really think my word for your playwrights will be helpful. She also says,
Vicky says, Shirley, I'm going back to listen to Mark 2. I got a late start this morning.
It was really good. It was about pieces at 9:15. At the 9:15 marker, you'll catch Mark Greer.
Craig says, I'm sorry, I'm not on time today. You still got me going. Not spelled KNOT because of Brian, and a throwback to Brian's post this morning. Not today.
I posted a picture of a guy that got knotted up, across his forehead and face. And so I was like, we not KNOT going to talk junk about this person, not. And a lot of people make jokes about it too. I think it's hilarious.
Not going to do it.
And Craig found it funny too. Vicky Liddell Evans said,
Brian, let's make it happen.
Well, we will.
It will.
Because
is Dr. Deborah here today?
She is. Dr. Deborah's in the room.
Good morning.
But it made me smile because that's the kind of God I serve. I think God is hilarious. These kinds of coincidences that line up like that. I just think God is funny sometimes. He makes stuff happen.
He does. Amen. Lots of good morning love this morning. I'm grateful that y'all tuned in and hung out with us this morning. In the meantime, and in between time, don't forget to show up for Shout It Out Friday and to submit any of your articles for the Empowerment Bulletin Board.
Any of their articles?
Any of your articles, any of your... So the same thing that we do on Shout It Out Friday for your businesses, those types of things can go into the empowerment bulletin. So if you submit them, we will be able to include them. We had an interesting article from Carmelo. We had a lovely article from Vicky Linnell Evans. And shout out reminder, in the bulletin, you also have the option to purchase your tickets. Just go to etix.com and search AAPG so that you can join us on April is it the 18th or the 13th?
18th, right?
The 18th at 3 p.m., the Tate Hall at CPCC. And I'm excited because we will also be
CPC
doing
Charlotte Community College. Okay.
Central Piedmont Community College.
Okay.
And after the show, we will be going to get a little nosh. There's a couple of places down and around there that we could slip off to and just have just an impromptu get together gathering to discuss the amazing playlets that we'll get to see.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing. We're going to go to the plays and then we're going to talk about it together as a group. Jacqueline Rozier is in the room. She says,
blessings all from Arizona. 6:52 a.m. here, still mentally waking up.
Help Lord.
Lord.
Jacqueline Rosier's got a jam. She's got a logo, well, according to Jacqueline, and she's got a song that goes,
Jacqueline Rosier, pretty little one that I adore. You're the only one my heart beats for. I'm so glad that you were mine.
Okay. Sister Vicky Linnell Evans says, so hilarious. Just spoke about you the day before. That's what I'm talking about. That tickles me. And Shirley Jeanette Wyatt says, what's the link for the bulletin? We got to go. It's 9:55. We're late getting out of here.
Yes, I'll text it to you right now, but it's linked. It's bit.ly/DrLisa EB. DrLisa Empowerment Bulletin. But I'll shoot you the link directly. Thank you guys so much. And in the meantime and in between time, don't forget to have sex, especially on Wednesday because it's Wolf Day.